this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to the Werewolf Amazon Challenge in The Sims 4. In the last chapter, the pack held its 7th and final match. Lady Bella Goth and Lady Olivia Goth were chosen to fight for breeding rights with the Alpha. Bella won and conceived Elmer's 4th child. During the match, Stone died of old age but not before breeding with Star, who later gave birth to a filly named Fury. A string of birthdays followed in the pack. Nancy, Patrick, Bob, and Marie aged up into their next life stages. Archery contests were held among the youngsters to further determine status within the pack. The youngsters soon learned that the Alpha only planned to allow teens to succeed him, making training for the oldest members essential. On Sunday morning, Bella gave birth to a baby boy named Prince Clyde. He was marked as the final birth of King Elmer's reign and moved to the royal guard to be raised by its 2 guard captains. Today is an important day that's going to be filled with a lot of important things, starting off with, oh, no, our kennel master come back. We are going to be training up Princess Marie because I have come to the decision that I will only allow the teens to succeed any of the roles. The minimum age requirement is to be a teen, and so we will be using sword fighting as the thing to determine succession rankings and then succession. And the children that we have, they are going to basically be backups in the next generation, unless they, between now and then, probably off camera, age up into teens. I am going to be making 4 new werewolves. Yes, 4 new female werewolves to take the roles that are going to be unoccupied next gen, if that makes sense. So Marie is going to be competing with Rosa to become Alpha. And to do that, first she needs to do some training, which she hasn't done. I was supposed to do this as soon as she became a teen, but I forgot about it and got carried away with the birth that was happening. Hopefully, though, it doesn't take too long. She does have a little bit of an advantage right now. She is, socially above Rosa, but Rosa was really talented. She completed her training session, from what I remember, in just 1 session. So we'll have to see, how Marie does. But she looks really, really cool sword fighting. I love this particular skill. I just adore it. And I want to use it. And the bigger reason for me not making the children eligible to take on any of the roles, yes, having children take over will give us, a lot more time with them. But also, it's going to take a lot more time for us to breed them. Like, we're gonna have all these chapters where there's gonna be no breedings done, and I feel like that's one of the most exciting things for me to do personally, is the matchmaking and the breeding and the werewolf pups. So I don't want to have to wait too long. Having teens, there's less time where we have to wait. Plus, if I'm making new females, then we'll still have breedable females in that time while we're waiting for Marie and Rosa to age up. Okay, so she did not, wrap up her training in that 1 session. So already it seems as though Rosa is more talented than her. Let's see. But hopefully she can build up her skill enough to be able to turn the tables. I personally am hoping that Marie becomes the next Alpha. I really like Marie. I do have a bit of a soft spot for her as well, because she is considered as a cursed princess, the only, really cursed princess. Aside from the fact that, the royal family does bear the last name of Curse, but that is a historical curse. That's a whole different thing to, additional bad luck, essentially. She's seen as an ominous princess. Maybe I should say that instead of curse, because it can get confusing with the last names that we have. So children may be born in a ominous time, ominous children. So she is the only ominous princess that we've had, because some of you made a good point about how if, the werewolves are already cursed, maybe they would consider a cursed time or being cursed as a point of strength, which isn't the direction I was going in, so I think it's probably better I call them ominous. So yeah, it is marked for the downfall of the clan, so to speak. So I think it'll be interesting to see what an ominous alpha can do and how she can challenge people's perception of her. Okay, so she finished her training right over there, guys. It took Marie 2 sessions, which means she's less talented than Rosa when it comes to sword fighting, so she'll have to work a lot harder, but right now she does have a higher ranking. So if Rosa defeats her, then Rosa takes her ranking, and she gets the first chance to challenge the alpha for her role. Now, from the look of things, we are only going to have the one battle between the princesses, and then we're going to have just the princesses challenging the alpha. And that's going to pretty much... Look, the alpha's getting his sword fighting skill up too. That's pretty much all that we are going to see in this succession. It is going to be very brief. And then whoever basically gets left behind between the princesses, they're going to take over the matchmaker's role, I think. So it's kind of fitting that the alpha is fighting the matchmaker here. But yes, I think they will take over the matchmaker's role by default. Because, there's going to be no other competition. And then the Kennel Master, Shepherd, and 2 guard captains, I'll be creating new werewolves to take those roles for the next generation. And then May and Nancy are going to be like backups. So if anyone dies next gen, then they hopefully are going to be of age. They have to be teenagers, minimum requirement. But hopefully they'll be of age to take over that particular role. So that is essentially where we are at right now. Also, I just really quickly want to check. Charlie's an adult. Did we give him his adult makeover? I don't know if we did. I think we gave him his young adult makeover, not his adult makeover. So I have to go and do that. Yeah, I have to give him his adult makeover. Sorry, Charlie. Is there anyone else I'm missing out on? Bob and Ira were younger. Bob's already had his adult makeover. Ira... Where the heck is Ira? Do you not know... Oh, May doesn't know Ira. Oh, well, that's awkward. Ira is also an adult. Okay. And Charlie is older than Bob, so he should have gotten his makeover. Right, so I need to go off, guys. I need to give Charlie his adult makeover. I need to give Ira his adult makeover. And then we're going to come back and start the succession rankings between Princess Rosa and Princess Marie, which should be a very brief, it's going to be a very short sword fight, fingers crossed. Let's start off with the adult makeover of Prince Charlie Curse. We're going to take a close-up of his face and go through his color swatches. Still as good looking as ever. So I did swap over or update his genetics so that it correlates with the Maxis Clay hairs, and I ended up giving him the lightest color I could find, which was platinum blonde. It's the closest to the white that he had in his alpha hair. So there we go. If he breeds in the future and he has a son, he's going to pass on this platinum blonde hair, which I think looks really, really good on him. But he has grown out his hair. Not wearing it nearly as short as it was. And I think it makes him look a little bit more friendly and charming compared to what he had going on before. He looked good, but very stern. So I do like that change in him. I really, really hope he gets to breed in the next gen because he's just so good looking. I don't want to miss out on these genes. So we've got his everyday wear, his formal wear. athletic wear, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as his everyday, and then his cold weather outfit. And that is pretty much it for Prince Charlie Curse. Next up, we have Lord Ira Lee, who I feel we have barely seen. I mean, Bob, I suppose he's in the court, so is always present, whereas Ira, more or less, is quite invisible. But hey, he is still a really cool sim, so we'll do a close-up and then go through his outfit swatches. I gave him the dark brown Maxis shade, which was actually really close to the alpha color he had, so it wasn't too crazy of a difference. But this is him. He has also grown out his hair. He had it long anyways. I think he had shoulder length hair before, but he has definitely grown it more. And he's got, I mean, cute genes. He's got, these dark brown hair genetics. I think we have lighter browns on the kids right now. So it would also be nice if, Ira got to breed. But he's got a higher chance than Charlie because he's unrelated to the females that we have, like the youngsters, the cursed females. He's not related to them in any way. Whereas Charlie, he probably is only going to be able to breed with the new blood that I bring in, which is another reason why I'm so determined to bring in new blood, because I want Charlie to pass on his genes. So this is his everyday wear. I feel like he looks really cool in red and black. Really cool. Maybe this is going to be Ira going into his domineering phase and not being as, hanging around, not being as invisible and not being as dormant as he was before. So I've got his everyday wear here. We have his formal outfit, athletic outfit, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as every day, and his cold weather outfit. And it kind of goes with his wolf form as well, because he's got a black wolf with a bit of gold. I think he's got gold hands and gold feet, but he's a black wolf, so that's kind of cool. And the fact that he's fated mates with Bella, and Bella Goth is traditionally known to be wearing red and black, so this is really nice. But there we go, guys. This is it for Lord Ira Lee. Of course, we cannot move forward with anything in the succession unless Elmer has his birthday, because even the succession rankings, they are part of the whole succession process, and the succession really only begins when Elmer becomes an elder. So we have a birthday cake, we have our court members with us, a bunch of others are walking around here and there in the castle. But that's fine. The people who really need to be here are present. Josephine is really angry right now. She's going to transform into a werewolf. I almost got scared that it was a full moon, but no, we are A-okay. We are fine. Elmer is going to have his birthday, and he's going to become an elder, guys. So here we go. It's kind of wild that this generation was so short. I'm kind of sad at how short it was, because I've been really having a lot of fun playing on this particular lot, and with the systems that we've kind of put in place. And I also feel like I barely know my kids right now. I feel like I don't even know them. Remember in the previous gen how we had almost all the children's personalities worked out, and we could kind of figure which one would be the best alpha, or whose personality would be problematic and whose personality would be better suited to certain roles. And we thought Elmer would be the best alpha, and he ended up becoming alpha. But I have no clue with our current kids. I like Marie because I've got a soft spot for her, because the difficulties that she's been through, and I kind of want her to become alpha and prove everyone wrong. But I really don't know, out of her and Rosa, who is more capable at being alpha. I have no clue. Zero. The only things I really know about them is the circumstances surrounding their birth, and how they've been treated by the pack. That's pretty much it. I don't know much about their individual personalities. I suppose we're going to learn that in the next gen, at least for the females that we're going to be playing with. Not everyone, but the ones that we're going to be playing with. Okay, Elmer is now an elder. You know what I'm curious about as well is, who does he favor out of all his children? I want to know that. So he very obviously favors Princess Rosa. Rosa is his favorite out of all his kids. And if I am to look between Marie and Rosa, he obviously thinks that Rosa is the best suited to becoming an alpha in the next gen, which is intriguing. Very, very intriguing. And if we look at their traits, so with Elmer, he was like, his first trait is vegetarian. And my interpretation of that since the time he was a child has always been that Elmer believes in the civilization of werewolves, and he likes werewolves to be in control of themselves and, away from their feral nature. And even if you look at him now, he has like protection against lunar energies, or I should say he's lunar resistance. He's got lunar resistance. So he is lunar resistant. But he doesn't even transform during the full moon anymore. The moon cannot compel him into a state of rage. So he, I feel like, has fulfilled his kind of life quest, and he has managed to harness his powers, right? And that's kind of something he's always believed in. Now, the way I interpret traits then makes the slob trait the opposite of the vegetarian trait. So for me, vegetarian among werewolves is about civilization, and then the slob trait is more about giving into your wild side, right? So Rosa, she's always been kind of talented in the physical aspects of just everything. She's active, and she enjoys being fit and enjoys training and everything, which makes sense why she was so talented at it. And then she's a slob, so she's in touch with her wild side, right? She doesn't mind giving into the rage. She enjoys it. She finds it thrilling. So I feel like it's interesting that Elmer is kind of putting his support behind the child, who is pretty much the opposite of him. Maybe he feels, after serving as alpha, obviously he's wizened up and gotten perspective, maybe he feels that Rosa is kind of what the next generation needs. That is the way to go. In contrast, we have Marie, who is a glutton. So my interpretation for her is that she's always been starved of love and affection, and she's greedy for those things from the people around her. And then she's been, treated like an outcast from a young age, but then her sisters and her cousin, they've kind of taught her that she should stand up for herself and she shouldn't be trampled on by others. And so she developed the hot-headed trait as a teenager, because she believes that, there is nothing wrong with her. She is just as healthy and just as good as any other werewolf that we have, any of the other children. And, people are in the wrong for speaking terribly about her and saying that she's ominous. And she's decided that she is going to stand up for herself and fight against that. So we have a slightly more justice-oriented heir, but then she's also, kind of starved for love and affection. And then we have a really solid heir who is a werewolf through and through. So Elmer, I suppose, feels as though Marie being ominous and Marie being a glutton for, relationships or people connections is a weakness of hers. A weakness that he doesn't see in Rosa. So maybe that's why he's kind of putting his bets behind her. And I'm also curious now to see how the others in the court feel about the two princesses. We obviously won't know everyone's opinions, but I'm really curious to see who these guys are voting for. And you know what I might just do? Instead of taking a look here, maybe before we dive into the succession rankings, so Rosa and Marie, battling it out to determine who's going to challenge the alpha first. Before we do that, I might actually go into all of the households for our werewolves that I have, like the she-wolves, the royal guard, everyone that I know. I might go into those households, everyone basically on the royal grounds, and I might actually see, for those who know of Marie and Rosa, who they vote for. And then I can give you guys just not specifically like who voted for who, I can give you an overall as to public sentiment. So which heiress or which heir people want to become alpha. And I think that'll be very interesting going forward, because then we'll know whether people are excited for the new alpha or people are really, worried and resistant and doubting the new alpha. And that gives us a new bunch of struggles for the next generation to work through. So I'm going to go ahead, do that, and then I have to do Elmer's makeover, and then we'll be right back. Actually, I'm going to do Elmer's makeover, guys. We're going to take a look at it really briefly. And then I'm going to do all of the calculations that I need, and then we'll jump into the succession rankings, and before we start the fighting, I will share the results with you guys. King Elmer Curse is an elder, so he has gotten his final makeover. We're going to do a close-up of his face, and then we're going to quickly go through his color swatches. So here we go. He is looking very nice, even as an elder. We can definitely see some more wrinkles beneath the eyes and, around the eyes. So he does look a bit older, but he's still a very Disney-looking king now. Not a prince anymore, a king. But I gave him brown hair in the Maxis shades because that's the closest thing I could find to whatever he had before. He had like a reddish brown hair color, but the red was like too red or it went to orange, so this was the closest thing I could find. Just went for a brown. But this is him all around. His hair is like up and out of his face. Did he have, I can't remember what sort of hair he had as a teen, but I think when he was a teenager, a lot of his hair was out of his face. And then when he became a young adult and an adult, it started growing a little bit more. Like he preferred to wear it down and longer. But there we go. And then we've got streaks of white in his hair that show us he is now a wise wolf. He's old, or older. So there we go. I really like the way that looks. Really, really cool. His outfits, a lot of them are in this kind of silver, golden silver sort of color scheme. I like that this is the scheme he's going to end on. It just feels very like regal and successful, does it not? It feels very regal and successful, so I do like this. So this is his formal wear, his, everyday wear. This is his formal wear, athletic wear, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as his everyday, and his cold weather outfit. It is fall now, so most likely a lot of these Sims are gonna be wearing the cold weather when we're going through the succession, because you don't want anyone to freeze to death and die. So yeah, that's what we're gonna have going on. But that is all for King Elmer Curse. We do have another age up that happened off camera, so I thought we'd come in and take a look at this as well. Master Patrick Empire, the son of Lord Edwin Empire, our shepherd, has aged up into a child, so we'll do a close-up of his face and then go through his outfits in the swatches you're already familiar with. So this is him as a child. He's got the pink eyes, the black hair, the light warm skin. He looks kind of cute. I obviously don't know. Who was he paired with? I don't remember who his mother was. This is tragic. I literally don't remember. Was it Nora Scott? I think his mother was Nora Scott. I could kind of see like some of her features coming through if she was the mother. If not, that'd be really awkward. I think so, because Nora and Edwin were fated mates, right? Yeah, okay. So this is going to be hopefully a very, happy child. Actually, that might not be the case. I hope Nora and Edwin end up a lot better than Edwin's parents. I don't know if you guys remember, but Patrick's grandparents, Helen and Ralph, they had the most miserable partnership and relationship ever. They were fated mates, they bred with each other, they had Edwin, and Helen hated her mate the entire time, even though Ralph was trying, and she started creating problems between like the father-son relationship, and it was just terrible. And then Ralph ended up getting killed, and Helen, she didn't even end up with the person that she was hung up on, even though it was just wild. It was just wild. But she didn't end up with the person she was hung up on, even though she was sacrificing her relationship with her fated mate for that. So Edwin, growing up, his reflection of fated mates was very different, and I feel like everyone, you know what, I just realized this, guys, we have not had a single marriage in this generation. Last generation, we had 3 marriages, 3 whole marriages, and all of them were with the alpha. In this generation, not a single one. And I feel like that is a huge reflection of how the Generation 2 kids felt about like partnerships and marriage and fated mates. To them, it was just jealousy and misery and not a happy thing. I hope Patrick sees a better example in his father and mother, and that Nora and Edwin have a happy ending so that Patrick maybe can go on and, bring back the love in Generation 3. But super cute. This is Patrick. I've got high hopes for you, kid. I got high hopes for you. So we have him in his everyday wear, his formal wear. He finally got his white armor that the males have for the Sons of Soul, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, which is the same as every day, and then his cold weather outfit. So that is pretty much it with Patrick. Also, he could be paired up with, he could become fated mates with pretty much any of the other kids because he is not related to them at all. Nora Scott, his mother, was an only child, so he's got no maternal relations among the children. And his father, Edwin Empire, was an only child, and both his parents were new bloods who didn't have any siblings who procreated, at least. Patrick's great uncle is Elmer's fated mate, but there's no blood relation. Nobody's had kids. So Patrick can literally pair up with anyone in the next generation. So that's going to be exciting. It is time for us to dive into the succession rankings. Marie and Rosa are ready to go against each other to see who is going to challenge their father and the alpha first. We do have a bit of an audience over here. Some of the she-wolves have come to see what's going on and to see what ends up happening here. And then we have, our immediate court members. And what's this? Bob likes optimistic Sims? Yes, why not? Before we actually bring out the swords and get the sword fighting going, I do want to share with you guys how the werewolf population feels about our 2 heirs. So I went into every single household on the castle grounds to see how everyone felt about Marie and Rosa, and these are the results, guys. 16 people voted for Rosa as the heir who they feel should be the next alpha. This is 80% of the werewolf population. And the people who voted for Rosa, they were Elmer, so the alpha himself, Bob, Ed, Edwin, Luther, Patrick, Josephine, Olivia, Dora, Bella, Cassandra, Vivian, Daisy, Nora, Summer, and Stella. As for Marie, only 4 people voted for Marie as the most ideal person to be the next alpha. This is 20% of the population. And the people who voted for her were May, Nancy, Charlie, and Eliza. So practically Marie's own mother, Eliza, and then the 2 young females that we have, the younger generation, May and Nancy, both voted for Marie. And so did Charlie, surprisingly. Charlie, the one who has been giving Luther such a tough time, or was in his younger days, because Luther was an ominous child, and Charlie, wasn't happy with Luther or Alice. And here he comes. He really wasn't happy with Luther even being born. Because he thought Luther was going to bring a plague onto the pack. And then not long after Luther came, 2 of our pack members died. I was surprised that he would vote for the ominous princess. But something in Marie must have indicated to Charlie that she is the one who should be alpha. Maybe he also feels as though he did the ominous children wrong, and that he was very quick to judge them. I don't know what he's thinking, but those are the results. Now, the percentages that I'm talking about, they're only taking into account the Sims who voted. There were actually 3 Sims who did not participate in the voting at all. These Sims were Ira, Nancy, and Alice. So, Ira does not know either princess. He apparently has not interacted with them, so he did not vote. Same thing for Alice, and same thing for Nancy. So, there we go, guys. The odds are against Marie, but I want Marie to win. So, okay, guys, we are going to get Rosa to challenge Marie, because right now Marie has a higher status than her in the pack. Rosa is the 2nd princess, and Marie is the 1st princess. So this is going to determine their succession rankings. Oh, I'm nervous. I really hope that Marie manages to defend her. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You guys should be fine. Don't do this to me. Do I need to... Okay, guys, hold on. We will get this sorted. I might have to, okay. I'll get them engaged in a fight, and then we'll jump back in. Okay, we finally managed to engage them in a fight. I just had to move them around a little bit to see where they felt like they had enough space to actually start. I'm so nervous, though. I'm so nervous, because Rose is actually more talented at the sword, even though Marie took 2 sessions. So let's see, guys. Let's see. From what we have witnessed in the previous generation, the Sim that has the first go basically has the higher chance of becoming alpha, because I don't know, it might be different for Elmer. I mean, it might be different for this generation, but Elmer was the first to challenge the previous alpha, and he won in the first battle. So I'm nervous. Oh my goodness, they're going through the planks. This is aggressive. This is an aggressive fight. And oh, come on, Marie, you can do it. You can do it, Marie. Please, Marie. Please tell me you can do it, Marie. I'm really, really vying for you. No, Marie. I'm so sad. Okay, I'm sad. But let me tell you, she's terrified. The poor girl is terrified. Oh my goodness. Rose is here feeling energized, but Marie's terrified. She ran away from the arena. Oh my goodness. She got so scared. Her sister literally shoved her through the planks. Oh my goodness. Marie tries to be brave and she wants to be brave, but then, having all these people staring at her, knowing that almost all of them want Rosa to win, maybe it was too much, and then seeing how fierce Rosa was, yeah, that must have been rough. That must have been very rough. You did well, Marie, you did well. But guys, this means that Rosa is now first in succession rankings, and oh my goodness, Marie is second. So their status as well is going to change now. So Rosa is going to be known as the first Princess Rosa, and but I don't, did we do this last time? Did we change their titles or not? I don't know if we changed their titles. Maybe we didn't. Because no, the titles shouldn't change. Because the succession rankings is to do with sword fighting. That's separate. And the actual social rankings is with the bow and arrow. So that gets maintained. Okay, so Marie is still first Princess Marie, but she ranks second. And second Princess Rosa ranks first. So now we need to go to a location, or the location, where we are going to have the actual succession battles. And the only one that's going to be happening is the one with the alpha. So I will get all of that set up, and then we'll see, guys. We'll see what ends up happening. But at present, it's looking like Rosa is going to take the cake. The moment of truth is here. We have our royal court members attending the actual succession. So this is where our youngsters are going to go up against the alpha until one of them wins. From what we've seen in the previous generation, like I said, the person who goes first has a very high chance. Although I have to say, Elmer has been sword fighting from a young age. Right? So he is very, very proficient at it. I don't know the chances of Rosa winning against Elmer. But then the same could be said for Marie. I mean, if Rosa is better than Marie, then, what's the hope of her being better than Elmer? I don't know. For now, though, we are going to start worrying about that and get Princess Rosa to challenge Elmer to a sword fight. So this is her challenging him for the crown, guys. Okay, are they gonna head down? I guess they want to sword fight down here? Out in the open? Okay, they want to sword fight out in the open. That's okay as well. That's fine too. Okay, they're coming out here. Okay, they're coming out here in the back. Okay, I suppose they have the space to do that. Okay. Let's see, guys. Nope. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, you gooses. Don't get nervous. Maybe you're nervous, but don't get nervous. Okay, here they go. Here they go. Look at Elmer. Look at Elmer! Rosa's actually struggling. Rosa, I think, is actually struggling. If you look at their expressions, look at her. Her expressions. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see, but... Hold on. Just look at Elma's expression. He's like, come at me. And then look at her expression. Hold on. Look at this. Rosa's like, oh my goodness, why is he so strong? And I was like, that's right, I've lived my whole life sword fighting. I was the best and most talented. Actually, was he? Yes. He's like, I was the best and most talented in my generation. So don't think you have it easy, honey. Don't think you have it easy. Oh, this is brilliant. You never know, though. Rose might actually pull out some tricks towards the end. But Elma's looking very confident. Very, very confident here. Okay, Rosa. I mean, I'm hoping she loses. Just because I really, really want Marie to win. It's not set in stone just yet, guys. It's not set in stone. Okay. Come on. Come on, Elmer. You can do it. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you guys. This is just... You never know with these things. Guys, Rosa actually defeated Elmer. That's it. We're done. We're done. She is the next alpha. Oh my goodness. She is the next alpha. No! Marie, my beautiful Marie. Okay, well, congratulations, Rosa. Congratulations. That is the way of it. You won. Everyone is probably really, really happy because, you know, everyone, well, 80% of the population wanted you to win. So they're going to be very, very happy that you are the next leader. Look at Ed, the kennel master, with the two young girls behind him. Oh, May looks especially frustrated. I mean, Nancy, at least, you know, this is her maternal cousin as well, so they're family on both sides. She's, you know, putting on a smile on her face. She's happy for her, even if she was voting for Marie. Ed, I mean, he's kennel master. He is in charge of teaching all the kids, so he's probably very proud. May, on the other hand, May's not happy. May's not happy in the slightest. She was really hoping that Marie would win, and poor Marie. Look, Bob is sitting here. Marie didn't even go around. I think she's a little bit disappointed in herself. I think for Marie, she kind of saw this as the opportunity to, you know, finally get the attention that she deserves, and she thought she'd be able to do it on her own. She'd be able to fight for it. But no, Rosa didn't even give her a chance. Ugh, that makes me sad. But it's okay. Marie is going to be the matchmaker in the next generation, if I'm not mistaken. So she still is going to have an important part. She's going to be part of the royal court. I mean, she's the one who's going to be deciding, you know, who gets to help to carry on the bloodlines. She's going to be helping to decide who essentially is paired up with, like, who, which is a big responsibility. So, guys, that is pretty much it. We are over and done. This means I am going to be making 4 new females to serve as the kennel master, the shepherd, and the 2 guard captains. May and Nancy are going to be backup females who, you know, are going to be used as replacement if someone does die in the next generation. So that is something to look forward to. And in case you're wondering why the others are going to school and Rosa is not, it's because she had an early graduation, so she's still a teen, but she doesn't go to school anymore. Okay, well, that was a very, very brief episode, but I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. I don't feel the need to stretch this any longer than it should be. The final part that we are going to be seeing and witnessing is going to be Elmer's death. Actually, yeah, we'll do Elmer's death back in the throne room once everyone is back from school. I might even just pull them out because this is important. And then I think maybe we should go to the graveyard and put the remains of our deceased Sims in the graveyard, and that can be our final goodbye to everyone before I end the video. So I'll see you guys in a bit. We have reached the end of this generation. It is time for us to say goodbye to Elmer, guys. So, as we know, part of the cursed bloodline and the cursed burden is that our alphas have poison in their blood, which quickens and kills them as soon as they become elders, which is why they hold the succession as soon as they age up into elderhood. So he cannot suppress it any longer. He can't contain it any longer. He is going to die here. And he can die in peace knowing that Rosa is going to take up the mantle of Alpha after him. So I'm going to let him be overcome by poison just as people are, coming into the throne room over here. This makes me sad, but, it is time for us to say goodbye. So let's see. He is going to die by poison. Here he goes, guys. Here he goes. Oh, this is so sad. Right next to his portrait. The portrait that was made when he took on the mantle of Alpha. Oh my goodness. Next to his mother's portrait as well. Our original werewolf queen. Okay. Bye-bye, Elmer. Bye-bye. This is so sad. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. And he didn't even get to see, all of his, children age up into... He didn't even get to see any of his kids age up into young adulthood, which is wild. Which is very, very wild. I'm fairly sure in the previous generation... all of the Alpha's kids, except for I think Charlie, had aged up by the time the succession came around. But bye-bye, Elma. Bye-bye. Yep, this is definitely a miserable time for everyone. He had a very, very short reign. A short and... I don't know if we'd call it turbulent. We had, I feel like, a lot of deaths, especially towards the beginning. No, I don't feel like we had a crazy amount of drama within the pack itself. It was mainly just deaths in the beginning. No weddings, no nothing. But there we go, guys. He's gone. He is gone just like that. Just like that. Okay. And now, of course, Rosa is going to be taking the throne. I have worked out this castle enough to have some indication as to where his thing may have gone. Yep. I don't know why, but whenever we have a death, I worked this out really late. The urns pretty much come here. The urns, for some reason, materialize right here. So, I'm going to give this to Rosa. Now she has the gravestone of King Elmer Curse and also of Stone Curse. And these need to be put in the graveyard. I suppose I can just go and do that off camera, which I might. I guess we could even just go to the graveyard and, put this down properly and visit. Or I could do it separately on my own. I might just do that off camera. I don't want to jump around too much and have this video stretch too long because we kind of got all the main things we need done. So Rosa, a new Alpha. We have Marie next to her as the new matchmaker. Rosa is going to be getting a golden circlet. Right now she has a silver one. She's going to get a golden circlet with a new crystal color that is going to define her reign. I am not going to be giving anyone makeovers, particularly because I only give them makeovers when they age up. So she's gonna, have this appearance until she ages up. Now, one makeover I did want to do was for Ed. And I've been thinking about this, but I feel like Ed, since he is not going to have any other birthdays due to him being an immortal, I feel like he should have one last makeover that defines his immortality. There should be some change to kind of show us that, he's different from who he was in the past, because this is his young adult makeover. So I think I'll give him one more makeover. I should have done it when he became eternal, but I didn't think about it until now. he's going to get one final makeover that is going to kind of show that he is an immortal now. But it's not just going to be his human form. He is actually going to have a new werewolf form, because I also like the idea that something in them changes drastically when they become immortals. There is some, magical power at work, and that alters the way they look. So he's going to have a completely different werewolf form to what he does now. Can he change at will? I think he can. Okay, so if he transforms, this is his current werewolf form. But when we see him again in the next generation, his werewolf form is going to look different to this. So that's something that, I want to explore. The other thing on my mind before we leave, I've been thinking, guys, that I am going to rename the series starting from next gen into Sims 4 Werewolf Stories, just because that gives me a bit more flexibility with, what I may want to do in the direction I might want to go in. I feel like Werewolf Amazon has helped me set a good foundation for the way our werewolf society works. But if I want to make, additional changes to this or be a bit more flexible with how I tell my stories, I think I want to pursue it under the label of Werewolf Stories. So next generation Werewolf Stories is going to be a continuation of, Werewolf Amazon Generation 1 and 2 that we've been seeing. It's just going to have a different name on it. And that way I don't have to be as strict or particular with certain things if I feel like changing. I may not feel like changing the setup I have, but there we go. I think that's all I had to share. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I really appreciate the support you guys gave me with this particular season, and I am really excited to get the next one going as well. That's gonna be all, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, guys.